Tottenham Hotspur sack Ange Postecoglou. Daniel Levy has made his mind up and he has decided that it's time for Big Ange to go. He landed them the first trophy, their first trophy in 17 years, but it wasn't enough to keep his job after finishing 17th in the Premier League with a record 22 losses. The only team to have that many losses and not get relegated. And he's made a decision. He has not let the sentiment get in the way, and he has ruled with the iron fist as Daniel Levy does, and he has given Big Ange his marching orders. And Big Ange gets to leave having been true with his statement. I always win things in my second season. But if I'm honest, this is the right decision, man. This is the right decision. He had to go. And actually, I changed my mind on this. I was like, after delivering what he delivered to the Spurs fan, maybe there's something there. And the more I thought about it, I was like, nah, man. You can't have 2 years at a football club. And at the end of the second year, you've got way more questions than answers. That tells you what your decision should be. And he's gone. It's over. The road has come to an end. It's done between Spurs and Ange Postecoglou. No more high line, no more maverick football, no more zero defense, no more high line for life. It's gone. It's gone. And like I said, man, I do think this is the right decision. Look, I think that if you look at it overall and you see how many games they lost, it wasn't working, man. It wasn't working. He had to get sacked. And at least he leaves on a high. You know, I'm not just going to troll him because actually he was a breath of fresh air, Ange. He was. And then I think he started getting lost a little bit, getting too prickly with the media. And then I started to see a different side to him that was someone who got a lot of respect for himself, stands on his principles, says it as it is, you know, and believed in his ability. And he did, and he delivered on what he said he would deliver on. So I respect that. And he goes with, weirdly, I've never seen a manager get sacked under these circumstances where basically his stocks are kind of still high because of the Europa League final. What he delivered their first trophy in 17 years. He'll go down as a manager, as a Spurs legend. I think, you know, he'll go down in the history where Tottenham fans can be happy with what he achieved and what that night he gave them in Bilbao at the San Mamés Stadium. But at the same time, he's lost a record amount of games. It's been the worst they've ever been. They finished 17th, which is absolutely disgusting. So really, for Spurs fans, I think you should be thinking, you know what? This is perfect. The decision's been made for us because we could get emotional. Now, a lot of Spurs fans I've spoke to are like, nah, he has to go anyway. He has to go. He has to. He can't stay. Like, thank you for the trophy, but he has to go. Some Spurs fans were like, nah, he deserves season 3, as Ange said on the open top bus parade or when he was talking at the Tottenham parade. Like, season 3 is where it gets hot. Season 3 is also where the main character dies. That happens as well in programs, and that's what's happened in football terms with Ange Postecoglou. He's been relieved of his duties, and I think it's good that Daniel Levy has taken the emotion out of it. Listen, as a United fan, I've seen my team win trophies, you know, at the expense of being a really bad football team. When Man United won the FA Cup final last year and Eric Ten Hag finished 8th, I was like, after he won the cup, I was like, nah, man. I ignored all the signs that were there from during the season and said, nah, give him a chance. He deserves the right he deserves a chance to right his wrongs, yeah? But I knew deep down it wasn't the right decision. And by the time it got to October, you know, look what happened. Man United were 13th. And then, you know, what happened is history. We know what happened after that. And I think Tottenham need to avoid that if they want to kick on. They're in the Champions League. Go and get somebody that is better than Ange. Just that simple. He's delivered the trophy. You've given them a platform. There's a bit of a winning mentality there to build upon. Go and get someone who knows what they're doing in the league. Because over 38 games, I don't care what injuries you have, and you've built that squad for 2 years, you can't finish 17th. And people will say, oh, you're not sacking Ruben Amorim, this, that, and the other. The reason why I think that's different is because he's only been in the job 6 months and has a transfer window to go and get players. You know, and just brought in some good players, man. He has, and it hasn't worked out. You know, it hasn't worked out at all. He brought in what, Vicario? Did he bring in Van der Ven? I think he did. He brought in Brennan Johnson, I want to say. He brought in Dominic Solanke, 60 odd million. Who else did he bring in? Those are just the players off the top of my head. I don't know if he brought in Porro and those guys. But yeah, I think he did. Did he bring in Pedro Porro? I think he did. So he brought in guys. Kulusevski, I think, was there before. But I don't know, man. He came when Bentancur came in that January. So look, it's the right decision. Question is, who next? Who next for Spurs? Is it Thomas Frank? Is it Iriola? Is it Oliver Glasner? Who is it? Is it someone from outside of the league that we're not thinking about? Is it Xavi? You know, who should they get? I think they should get someone who knows the league. I think Thomas Frank would be a great shout. Marco Silva from Fulham would be a great shout. There's a lot of managers that Spurs could go after. There's a lot of managers that Spurs could go after that could fit the bill. But also, Daniel Levy needs to change. There's one thing, okay, because I know that some fans, before Spurs got really rubbish and before they even won the Europa League, Spurs fans were saying, what's the point in changing the manager? We always do it. It's the hierarchy that needs to change. They need to invest in proper players. They need to get targets in. They need to buy players with intent. They need to spend money. None of this, we're the best run club in the country thing because, you know, PSR is great and the balance sheet is brilliant because Daniel Levy is great with the money, but he doesn't spend it. And I think if you go and get Thomas Frank or you go and get Iriola or Glasner or you know, Marco Silva, just to name but a few, there's no point getting these guys if you're not going to back them. So the biggest problem at Spurs still is probably Daniel Levy. So if he doesn't change what he's doing, if he doesn't change how he comes across and how he's intending to spend the money, then nothing will change at Spurs. And I hear that from their fans when they say that, because what's the point in changing if you're going to keep doing the same things if the recruitment's still poor or the level of investment doesn't match the intention of the club? You know, if the level of investment isn't there, but you're expecting big things, it's not going to happen. It's not going to go well for you. So for me, it's one thing saying goodbye to Ange. That's the right thing to do in this situation. Fair play to Daniel Levy. That's decision number one, right? Decision number two is make sure you appoint a decent manager, a good manager. And there's enough out there. They're not all free, but you have to prize them away and get them to come to Tottenham. So you've got to pay money for that. And you've got to pay money to sack Ange. And then number two is with that Champions League money, go and sign proper players. Do you know what I mean? Let's be real. Go and spend money getting the proper players. And for Ange, his legacy will live on at Spurs. He's done something special. Can't take that away from the guy. He's done something that he said he was going to do as well. You definitely can't take that away from him. And Ange, knowing him with what we've seen, he wears his heart on his sleeve. He won't be phased. He'll say, all right, cool. If you want to treat me like that, I've got the first trophy in 17 years at this club. And you want to sack me, I'll go somewhere else and I'll win. No problem. He won't lose any sleep over it. He left Spurs a winner with a medal around his neck, mate, and a trophy. So in the end, it's disgraceful what he done in the league. He should lose his job. But in terms of where Spurs were, in terms of getting them a trophy, he did it and he deserves credit for that. So let me know who you think Spurs' manager should be. Smash a like on the video on the Football Flex and subscribe to the Football Flex if you haven't done so already. I'm out of here, guys. Peace.